Alright, so we're here to do the analysis of the game. So we're going to go back into the game without the overlays because we don't need them for analysis. They actually get in the way. So, part number 1. I'll let you take the analysis on this part.
Alright, so pretty much what we're going to see here is DuckloadRa does something, really smart. It's really safe pressure. And by doing so, you see that orbital command up there. He kind of slows down the ability. Yes, and it's 3-gate pressure while he's taking an expansion. He's going to get to that. Stop typing, I'm going to kill you. It's not, I'm talking about all this. I'm not going to miss that. But what's great about that is, right now, his natural's already up. That pressure was perfectly safe. He could force field the ram, prevent Terran to be able to push him, even though Stim just finished. And yeah, we got oversaturated Terran right now. And if you look at the income tab,
bam,
he's definitely ahead right now. So I mean, that really kind of props him coming into the mid game here.
All right, so then he gets his robotics bay up, which I screwed up during the cast because I got confused. So I was expecting it to say robotics support bay for some reason because a lot of people call it that. So now we're going to zip ahead to... Yes, I know it's a StarCraft 1 deal. That's why people call it that. Support bay. But it's not. To where we get the Dark Shrine. Now, we basically came to the consensus that the idea he had here was a decent idea.
Good idea.
Good idea, maybe even. I'm not in favor of DTs at this point in the metagame anymore.
Right.
But it's a good idea based on what he was trying to do with it.
Right. I mean, there's
So go ahead and explain what he was trying to do with it.
What he's attempting to do with the DTs is get map control. And in doing so, it would allow him to secure him taking this third base. It also, he's going to warp in a Zealot, not a DT. Originally I thought it was a DT, but it ends up being a Zealot. He's going to take a Zealot up to where the Terran's third might be. Kind of more like at the 8-minute mark. Or was that 8 minutes? Yeah, 8-minute mark, where he kind of slowed down that second expansion into the natural. It's kind of the same premise. Establish map control of the DTs. Don't let Terran push out. Be able to poke into his base. Maybe do damage with him even. It's smart play, in theory. When you're sitting there and you're doing all your theory crafting and whatever, this is smart. But what we see happen, and if you want to talk about that...
Yeah, he kind of makes a mistake here. He knew the turret was here, and he poked too close to the turret, which completely gave away the fact that he had the Templars.
And I mean, in my opinion, I don't... Yeah, it ended up being a mistake, but his intention, I don't think, wasn't necessarily to do a run by.
He might have actually purposely shown the Templar because he wanted him to stop the push.
Yeah, maybe, or he was just trying to see up the ramp, possibly. But regardless, it ended terribly.
Well, and then what is definitely true at this point, Duckload sees there is a lot of shit headed to his base.
Yeah.
I mean, he sees the entire Terran army. 4 of what's going to become 5 Vikings, 2 tanks, a bunch of Marauders, a ton of Marines, and a Medivacs and a Pear Tree.
Yeah.
So, this is the part that took us a little while to get to a consensus on, as far as Duckload's reaction to this. We've pretty much, at this point, I think I can fairly say, both agree that him pushing out here to a very open area wasn't the best way to handle that army.
Yes, but, still, I feel he was in a position where he had to. He had to protect his third. He can't afford to lose that third. Because, it's about to finish. He's committed to it now. That's a huge loss. If Terran takes it down, and he could have played defensive. He could have stayed alive.
Right.
He might have been able to come back with some really neat harass. Right. But I think what Duckload is looking to do here is pretty much win the game, in a sense. This is kind of like, will I win, won't I win?
Yeah.
He's showing all his cards.
Yes.
And what we did both agree on is kind of looking over this build that he has right now, that it definitely has some serious flaws in it, and what Terran did
Could use further refinement.
Well, I don't know about
I think we can agree that if he had built
he could definitely use
2 gateways that he ends up building while this was going up.
Yeah, regardless of that going
it would have helped him.
Yeah. And another thing,
because he gets a shit ton of minerals after this.
After this, he ends up getting a crap load.
Which, even if this goes up per normal, he would have ended up with a shit ton of minerals.
Yeah, it didn't matter either way. He could have supported at least one more gate, maybe another gate, 2 gates at that.
Yeah.
He would have been able to support it in the long run. And, I mean, really, he's in a position now where it doesn't matter. This build is kind of designed to do something completely different.
Yeah.
And what Terran ends up doing completely exploits the fact that he was relying on the DTs for map control.
Right, yes.
He doesn't want Terran to be pushing out with a big army and attacking him right now.
Right. And what kind of ends up coincidentally hurting him is the fact that the time that he's taking his third is the exact same time that Terran was planning on pushing.